The problem isn't that you feel and sense things. It's that your system doesn't know how to steady yourself whilst you're doing the feeling. A lot of people say to me, I think I'm just too sensitive, too emotional, too affected, too reactive. Maybe someone's called you an empath. Maybe you started to believe that that's just who you are. You walk into a room and you feel everything. You notice tone, you pick up shifts in moods, and it can feel intense. But what if you're not too sensitive at all? What if your nervous system just hasn't learned how to hold what you feel? So sensitivity isn't the problem. Being sensitive it's just not the issue. Sensitivity means you notice things, you feel things, you are aware. But noticing everything without knowing how to kind of steady yourself can feel overwhelming. And if you're not sure of it, then it can make you feel unsafe. It's a bit like having the volume turned up with no way of adjusting it, or a super fast car with no brakes. The problem isn't that you feel and sense things. It's that your system doesn't know how to steady yourself whilst you're doing the feeling. And if someone's called you an empath, that may have made sense. You may have looked it up and said, yes, that's me. That's the way I am. You'll probably feel more than most people, but being an empath doesn't mean you're supposed to absorb things. It doesn't mean you're fragile. It simply means you're perceptive, that you have an awareness of feelings and emotions, and yet you can perceive things. And perception without the ability to steady yourself can be exhausting. And also perception, can I turn that round? Perception with steadiness can feel like you've got a superpower. You've got an inner strength, because a knowing and an understanding means that you're not fearful of it. Now, helping your system regulate doesn't mean being calm all the time. It means that if you feel something, you don't get pulled under by it. You know what it is. Your body doesn't react. It doesn't go into a spiral, and it doesn't flip into this is something that is wrong with me, and this is something I need to fix. It means that when your body knows and understands that what you are doing is that you're being perceptive, it means that you can come back to yourself. You don't need to spiral. And that's all that regulation is. It's an ability to return. It's an ability to understand that you have the capacity to deal with this perception, this sensitivity that is your superpower. But most people are never taught how their body and their energy actually works together. If you feel a rush in your chest, and your breathing changes, you get a sudden wave of emotion or a sense or a feeling of doom, your muscles tighten, your mind assumes, without an understanding, your mind assumes, oh my goodness, there's something going wrong. Your body flips into I don't feel safe. Your nervous system goes out of control, and your body is simply responding to what is going on in your mind and the lack of understanding. So when you don't understand what's happening inside you, that you're sensing things, it can be frightening. And that's when you can tip into overwhelm. When you do understand it, it feels like it's manageable. There's nothing mystical about this. It's just an awareness. That's all it is. And the nervous system and your energy are not separate. They move together with the help of your mind. And if your mind doesn't understand the energy in your nervous system, then it has no way of putting a foot on the brake or putting a foot on the accelerator. It doesn't know how to do that because it's in the out of control, feeling that everything is bigger than it actually is. You've tripped into fight flight, and actually it's when you get the understanding, everything, you realize that it's you're perceiving things, you're understanding things, you have this knowledge of what's going on, and that can be a superpower. And that's where you can get a regulation from, because you can come back into a state of balance. So let's just examine what does it mean to feel oversensitive. Sometimes people actually don't know what is going on with them. So let me give you an example. If you go into a room full of people and you start talking to someone and they are talking about something that is quite a heavy subject, or they may be argumentative, and you can feel how angry they are about their, thing that's happened to them. And you suddenly are starting to feel that this anger, and you think, oh, and then someone else joins in and you're thinking, I need to get out of here. Okay. That's a sensitive system. If you are in your kitchen and there's lots of people, say there's someone chopping carrots, there's someone got their TV on, there's someone playing with their phone, there's someone else talking, and there's like too much going on, and you're kind of going, I can't. That's too sensitive. An interpretation of too sensitive. When you go to a big event that maybe you've built up to, it could be like a conference you've been organising, or even just going to, and it could be about a heavy topic, could be about visiting someone in hospital, or visiting or going to a funeral. Those kind of things can feel quite draining because you're in an energy of other people, and because you're highly sensitive and perceptive, the result of that is that your body will start feeling exhausted, depleted, because your nervous system's been working on overdrive, trying to keep you feeling safe. So that's what I'm trying to help people do, is understand what it is that in these various situations, how you can get that sense of being tired, depleted, overwhelmed, but the reason why it is, and the reason why I can really help you with the understanding of what is going on behind it. So let's just recap. You're not too sensitive. You just haven't learned how to steady your system yet. Now, this series is about becoming steady. Okay, it's not about being less sensitive. It's about being more steady. That's the difference.